What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we are going to talk about the upcoming Portraits of Pirates Sailing Again Maximum Heavenly Demon Don Quixote Doflamingo figure by Mega House. The figure is slated to be released in May 2022 next year. The height is 34.5 cm to the top of his coat and 24 cm to the top of his head. The price is 25,960 yen. Very pricey. I believe that is even more expensive than the Bowman version 2 figure. You know what? When I first heard that they were going to give us Dofi, I thought that it's about damn time they gave us his post-time skip P.O.P. His design here is much better, and to me, it is one of the best villains in the whole One Piece series so far. And I love his, craziness, his insanity. Just very intimidating demeanor. I've always kind of hoped that they gave us more post-time skip Dofi, but now he is finally here. This is a promo image with many shots of Dofi, and we are gonna take a closer look together now. Another promo image, and here you can see this is in Dressrosa with the birdcage at the back. Dofi is facing off Bowman version 2. I think they will look good as a display option if they fit well together. Probably the Law P.O.P. VS version will also look great facing this Dofi. Him injured on the floor and Dofi ready to pounce on him. And here we have a better color version of the figure. Same thing as before in mid-air, but of course we know that he is actually resting on a stone base, as you can see in this image. Right off the bat, I like his positioning and pose over here. I think it captures Dofi quite well, because for him, he's usually prowling, ready to pounce. It's kind of his signature movements, and I think this got it right. And if you look at his face, looks exactly like Dofi. The glasses, the crazy smile, the tongue sticking out. But maybe one thing I'm not that used to is that his hair here is especially bright. The yellow is very colorful. And if I remember correctly, if I look at other Dofi figures of mine, or if I look at the anime, I don't think his hair is supposed to be that bright. It's supposed to be like a more faded yellow. So I'm not sure if this is actually accurate, but I guess I will take some time to get used to it. In fact, after looking at him for quite a while, it seems better. And at his back, you can just see his coat, just massive, making up a big part of this figure, flying upwards. And one complaint I have is that the coat is actually, even though they are supposed to be feathers, I feel that they are very spiky. With the way it is designed, you can see like the individual piece themselves are sort of sculpted. I feel that they could have been more fluffy or furry, more like a like a fur coat as you see in real life and as we see in probably the anime and the manga. This still looks nice, but I thought that it doesn't really look like a fur coat that Dofi wears in the source material. And if you look at his pants, you can see it's painted with this chromish, glossy, reflective paint, which is good. It makes the figures look expensive. And he's kind of sitting on this rock or debris base, supporting him. So this is definitely a much more interesting one than the usual P.O.P. bases. Here we have another angle of Dofi, so we can admire more of his coat as well as the hair sculpt. I think the hair sculpt is fantastic. It looks very detailed with the strands, how they've done it. It almost looks like a fruit, like a durian, kind of like that. Another angle from the back. And this is what I'm talking about. Some parts of the coat, they just look so spiky. It doesn't look like a fur or feather coat. I don't think this is how they look like in real life. Not sure why they went with this style. Doesn't really look realistic. And here we can see that the coat is connected to the rock base at this part, and is also supported on his right foot. I'm not sure if this will have any long-term leaning issues problem, because it looks like the weight, the center of gravity of Dofi is pretty much all the way to the front over here. So if the connection is not good, or if the base is not solid and sturdy enough, it bends over time, then I would expect the figure to fall over. But for the price of 26k yen, I don't think that this should be an issue at all. It will be a major problem. Having said that, my Whitebeard Maximum has a bit of leaning problem. It's leaning a bit towards the right, but that came out a few years ago. So hopefully they have touched up their quality, and for the price we are paying nowadays, they give us a much stronger and sturdy figure. Alright, we can also see some shading on his legs over here, and of course the shading on the coats. The rocks, the debris, they look fantastic. The texturing, they're all quite well done. And you can see that they added some dirt on it, brown color, on top of the grey to make it more realistic. And this is another angle of Dofi. Maybe we can pay more attention to his outfit this time. The creases on the top, the buttons, they look to be quite decent, quite well done. And of course, his hand position, his fingers position is kind of him using his devil fruit powers. A lot of people had also mentioned that it's kind of wasted. They didn't give him his devil fruit effects with the strings coming out. Shouldn't have been too difficult. I will assume if they have done that, it will be under the mask line instead for the P.O.Ps. I think I have the same sentiments as well. I don't think it would have been too difficult to come up with those string effects. And maybe now some third-party manufacturers have to come up with some accessory effects for us to put him next to. This image here, we can see his muscles. Looks absolutely ripped, well-defined and sculpted. And even the inside of the coats, man, like they look so spiky. I wonder if it is the same in that area where it touches the back of his outfit. I hope it is not, because it looks like it will leave some sort of scratches on the figure. The pants, man, they really look great with the chrome reflective look. It looks much more expensive and definitely adds a bit of contrast to the whole figure. There you go, a close-up on Dofi's face. And it's pretty much 100%. I don't think I have any complaints, any areas to improve. I got his signature smile, the veins on his forehead. Maybe just put a button somewhere where you can press and it lets out Dofi's laugh. That would be epic. My main complaint actually is just the hair. It's just very yellow for me, and I would take some time to get used to. And I'm not sure what's with all this yellow kind of, shading, I guess, on towards the edge of his coat around here. Maybe that is to match the colors coming out from his hair. No idea how it works. But I realize nowadays some of the P.O.Ps, they have some weird shading on their coats. Even like, I think Odin's hair is green. This photo is more obvious. Like towards the tip of the feathers, it becomes yellow. It's a bit weird, I guess, but it allows for more color variation. And boy, does Dofi's hair really look like a durian if you ignore the face. More images of Dofi. And I think overall this figure, he looks fantastic despite my complaints. I think it is an awesome sculpt. Dofi deserves this masterpiece. But maybe it's just too expensive. I would expect people getting priced out of this. Like, it's more expensive than Boundman. It's crazy. And now I'm kind of glad that I didn't get Crocodile, because between these two, I'd rather get Dofi. Of course, in an ideal world, I would get both of them. Maybe sometime down the line, if I can get Croc on a cheap price, I would do it. A full view of his coats, so you can really see how the colors they've added, the transition from lighter to dark in certain areas really fits in well with the shadows and the brighter areas. So they all look great. I think the coloring wise, except for the front, is a bit weird. The back part pretty much sort of pinkish within the pinkish spectrum. Another look at Dofi, and his muscles really ripped. Those 8-packs, those chests, the long, thick neck. Alright guys, that's pretty much all the photos I have to share today. So very likely, very likely, like 99% chance that I will be getting this figure, unless some financial disaster happens suddenly and I couldn't afford. So it's really up to you if you guys think that you want to get this figure or not. The price, I totally understand, it is insane. And if I didn't like Dofi that much, I wouldn't get him. Having said that, also, we do not really get Dofi figures a lot nowadays. This might be the best one yet. Okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Will you be getting this Dofi figure? And what do you think of him? If you like my video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share them with your friends. And if you're new here and you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on new videos like this. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.